chomping at the bit. This is your finals of the Major League of the Rocket Soccer Confederation. We are ready to go for this best of 7. I am primed alongside Rumble. And of course, we have Art of War, our host and broadcaster extraordinaire. And we are getting started. In the blue, we have the Tornadoes. We haven't seen them yet tonight. They are Dribbler, Schnick, and Silly Bunny. And we have, of course, the Vikings in orange. Zach Cordell Walker starting again after he was instrumental in those 3 wins in the semifinals. And, of course, Slurp, our MVP, overall league MVP. So we got lots of great players. We should have lots of great action, and we are already on our way. What do you think we're going to see, Rumble?
I expect a lot of pressure already from the start, as you can see from Tornadoes. Dribs is going to be playing extremely quickly, trying to keep pressure on the side. And I think a few key things that need to happen in this game. Vikings need to shut down Dribs. And secondly, I think Tornadoes need to shut down Slurp. Big demo from Dribs on the Cordell, and I think maybe a little bullying needs to be in play. I think Vikings should keep that up going into this next game.
I feel like this matchup is probably going to be a little faster than our last matchup. We know the Tornadoes are good defensively, but they're also good offensively when you look at their team stats. And of course, Dribs, I mean, I looked in the chat, and not only did he get Grand Champ in 2s, but also 3s. Talented player, but we have Slurp on the other side, lots of talented players. Silly Bunny leading his team in a lot of the offensive categories. So this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So far, no scoring and only 1 shot, but it's one of those where teams are kind of feeling each other out to see, what strategies they're going to take.
Yeah, it's been a little back and forth between the 2 teams. Neither really getting a full possession on the other half, but it's because the good defensive work coming out there from Cordell, like you see.
Silly Bunny takes control. He's going to be able to, nope, not able to pop it, but Dribs is able to get something. 2 guys on the Vikings in the same place, but Tornado is not able to take advantage of it. Cordell, nice and slow up, and this looks like Zach might be able to get to it. Dribs up in the air first. Look for him. He's going to be quick to the ball, making plays for his team. Cordell and Slurp with the 2-man clear down. Past Silly Bunny. Schnick, Cordell with the shot. Dribs able to get that easily. I think especially against the Tornadoes, a good defensive team, both of them. Dribs all the way down past the guy. Solo play for the first goal of the finals.
There he is, Dribs. He fakes going up, gets Zach, catches the ball, and manages to get that little touch past Slurp and recovers really nicely and puts that in for the first goal. Tornadoes 1-0, but it's 2:30 on the clock. Can't count Vikings out just yet.
Not at all. Cordell Walker already with a shot. Schnick, Slurp. See if he can sneak that under almost, but Dribs able to get it out. And see Dribs control the ball. A lot of the higher level players, especially in Grand Champ, very good at getting touches down the field. Keep an eye on Dribs, as well as guys like Slurp. Schnick, though, high up for Silly Bunny. Zach able to get it out, kicks it to the side. Dribs is going to take his time, give his team time to recover. And that is enough for Schnick to be able to come up and in. That hits the crossbar, but Vikings are there and ready. Zach resets, but to the other side. And that's going to give Tornadoes a chance to come down. But with the demo, snuffs out that attempt. Vikings miss the ball right there. Schnick has a chance, but unfortunately he pushes it a little too far from himself to keep control.
Yeah, good stuff coming from Slurp on the wall here to get it going forward. They're going to have to shut down Dribs, and Schnick's actually playing very well right now. Finding good passes into the center and also rotating really well defensively. We have a few more shots for the Vikings. They're ahead than Tornadoes, but they're not too threatening, just a few earlier on.
Here's a chance right here. Schnick not able to put enough power and accuracy on it, but I do like, as you said, his touches, been able to make some plays happen. Schnick has, and Dribs, of course, as well. So the Tornadoes playing well. They have the lead. Only a minute left, less than a minute left. The game has gone by so quickly because there's been so much action back and forth with very little goals scored. Vikings have to get a goal, tie this up. Slurp has the chance. Zach, though, hits it up a little too high. Cordell decides, probably smartly, to let that go and back and recover. Schnick again. Nice touch as we talked about. Let's see if Dribs can get it down. He gets it in front. Luckily, it just rolls right past it because Cordell got blown up. And it is still in the Viking zone. They're having trouble getting it out. And there's very little time left. They are all on their goal line. Must get it out. Tornadoes have control. Have to be careful of the counter. Slurp down to Zach. Schnick again. Great touch to keep it in. And it's looking like, unless this can go the other way, that this is the Tornadoes with the first game of the finals.
Tornadoes taking game one pretty, not decisively, but definitely controlling most of the rhythm. Not letting Vikings kind of mesh or click at all and get their passes together. They did a really good job actually starving Vikings. If you noticed there towards the end in the last minute or so, Vikings are really struggling to get boost and get powerful clears out of their half. And that's where a lot of the pressure comes from to the Tornadoes.
Yeah, I noticed that both teams were doing a good job of making clean touches on the ball. There weren't as many misses and whiffs as we saw in the semifinals. But the difference was the Tornadoes, led by Dribs, but also Schnick, making very productive touches to get it down the field and over the Vikings or around them in some instances, as Dribs did with that great solo play for the goal. And that's been the difference. So we'll see if the Tornadoes can keep that up. Again, it seems like the Tornadoes kind of controlled that game as far as when I was watching. It appeared that way, but really just a 1-goal game, and they both had the same number of shots. So we should see a great game two coming out from these guys, and it looks like they are ready to jump right back into it. All right, so we are starting game two of the finals between the Tornadoes and the Vikings. Tornadoes up 1-0 in this best of 7.
Yeah, as a whole, it's a long road ahead, and both teams aren't going to give up just yet.
Silly Bunny, nice pass to Schnick. Dribs up. I wonder if he got a little bit disoriented there by Silly Bunny. That happens sometimes when you have two people going up for the same ball. So they're in a little bit of trouble. They both double committed for that defensive clear as well. But luckily for them, it kind of hung out in the corner long enough. Cordell could not get a clean shot on that. Dribs with the ceiling shot and right past it off the crossbar. A great play by Dribs, but could not unfortunately finish it. But they are attacking everywhere. Silly Bunny up in the air again. Dribs so fast. That's the second time I saw Dribs, though, double commit in the air. So their team's got to do a little bit better of a job in terms of communicating and make sure that they don't double commit.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm really great demo onto Dribs there. I like to see Cordell step it up. I think he's going to be a big deciding factor in this game, especially with the pace we're seeing come out from Dribs and Schnick. It's definitely going to have to step it up.
And what we've seen from Cordell is that he is a good fast player, but not fast enough for that. Silly Bunny scores the first goal of the game.
Quick stuff coming out on the side. Silly just managed to slip it right behind Cordell as he thought he probably had the near post covered, but ends up flipping to the right, missing out on that challenge.
Hard to get a piece of that when the ball's coming off and players are hitting it so hard. It's really all about positioning for a lot of those types of shots in terms of defending them. Two guys go up for the Vikings. Slurp all by himself. Tornadoes, they are trying to get in there, but they decide to back off. They feel like Slurp had a good clear there. Schnick comes in, not able to control it. Slurp downfield, but he just passes it back to the Tornadoes. Oh, Silly Bunny had a little bit of a mistouch, but Drib's able to get it down. Zach, nice control, getting it to the side. Resetting it for his team. The Vikings down by a goal and down by a game. So they need this, but plenty of time left. See what they do. Cordell. He's going to go ahead and drop back. No, go ahead.
Good movement on the ball coming from Vikings right now. They got to get some big, strong touches if they're going to get any kind of pressure or more shots on the goal.
They're doing a good job right now of keeping it in that zone. Really all they need to do, keep it in there, steal boost, break down that defense. See if they can continue to do that. But unfortunately, it looks like it's No, they're able to somehow. Oh, the mind games. Dribs, though, able to wait Zach out. So Silly Bunny able to get it down, but not cleared all the way. Seems like everybody's waiting for the other player to make a move before they do anything. We're halfway through the game. So far, very few shots from either team. Only a 1-goal lead. So again, pretty much the same type of game as the first one, a defensive battle. Both teams trying to just make clean hits, not turn the ball over. Oh, Dribs. Let's see if Slurp can stop him. Able to get the challenge. Didn't wait for Dribs to make any kind of moves or mind games. Let's see if they can continue to play good defense like that. Gotta watch Dribs, like right here. The mind game on Cordell. He just squeezes it past, but it's not in. Silly Bunny. But his teammates aren't there, so he gives it up. Zach on the move. Dunked by Schnick. Schnick has Dribs. Dribs off the backboard. No, Schnick was going to take it himself. Let's see if the Vikings have anything. Can they get it? Zach's dropping off. It seems like the Vikings, they're getting beat in the air, and they're being a little tentative because of that.
Definitely a little slower pace coming from the Vikings. Their clears aren't as strong or decisive as they need to be. And they're getting challenged pretty early. Zach has time to get this down the field, but Dribs just catches it and tries to take his time.
They have a chance right here. Cordell with the shot. Everybody on the Tornadoes goes to make that save, but there's still a chance right here. Slurp off the back wall, but sometimes that's helpful as a pass. Zach to Cordell. Double tap. Not able to squeeze that through that Tornadoes defense. Tornadoes not giving up anything. Dribs takes it in himself.
Fantastic shot from Dribs. Just pops into the corner and is able to beat Zach to this ball and hits it over as Cordell wasn't able to get back quickly enough.
Both of their goals off that back wall and then right in on the angle. So difficult to defend, and that's a kickoff goal for Dribs. So unfortunate when you see that.
A little unfortunate. Slurp just gets a little too far to the left of the ball, and Dribs notices how far Slurp came off the ball and just has to just slot it into the net.
So this went from a defensive battle to all of a sudden Tornadoes up 3-0, very comfortable lead, I think, for such a good defensive team as the Tornadoes. But anything can happen if Vikings can score right here. Not going to happen. Dribs snuffs that out. So looks like the Tornadoes are going to win game 2 of this best of 7. Still plenty of games left. The Vikings have a lot of work to do.
Now, maybe I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a roster change coming in from just like we saw earlier when they were down 2 games to start. We did see that roster change. It did help switch, and it looks like Cordell has left the match, and we will be bringing in Huggy XD. Let's see if the switch is as favorable to the Vikings as it was in the semifinals.
Yeah, great call, Rumble. We are going to see the change up. And a lot of times, like we were talking about before, it's not necessarily the player. A lot of times it's just changing the player, the lineup. And that's enough to kind of break the whatever, kind of rut that you might be in, kind of change up the rotation. So we'll see if this helps out. I'm just looking at the chat and I'm just like wondering what is going on in there, but we will have a change. Cordell Walker is going to be sitting for Huggy, who's going to come in. If you guys did not see the first match that we streamed, it was the semifinals between the Vikings and the Surge, and Huggy actually started the first 2 games of that. So Huggy's not going to be completely cold. He's going to come in. He's had some match play earlier tonight. So he's going to come in for Cordell Walker, and we'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah, I expect from the gate, I think it's going to be a completely different game. Huggy's very fast on the rotation thirds, and I think he can find some more passes out and boom the ball pretty well and give the space. I think he's come after that sit. He's been just watching and waiting for his time to get back in and take control and show what he can do on the field.
Yeah, I expect Huggy to play well. Those first 2 games, I really don't think it was on him. It was a team thing, and I remember Huggy making some nice plays along the wall. So I think he's going to come in. He's going to play well. It's going to change it up for the Vikings. I remember when they lost to the Surge those first 2 games. I mean, they came out firing. So hopefully we can see that again and make this a match. So we'll see what the Tornadoes, how they react to the change up in the lineup. And so far, looks like the Vikings coming out with a little bit of renewed enthusiasm.
Oh, great opportunity. Great chance from Huggy dropping the ball for sack. And Dribs just managed to get there in time.
Yeah, they are keeping it there in the tornado zone. See if they can continue to try to keep the ball in there long enough to get a second man and some follow-up shots. And that's what they need. Nice to be able to come up with some nice passes, but it's really going to be about those follow-up shots and rebounds. Dribs able to get it on the far post past Zach.
Yeah, great placement from Dribs, going upside down to get that angle to flip it off the bar. Posting in. Great stuff.
All right, so we have Dribs for his team on the board already. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's scored in every game so far in this series. That's not to be unexpected considering his skill level. One thing we want to make sure is hope the Vikings don't start to tilt. A lot of times when you have a player that's either a little bit better or especially a lot better, the other team sometimes get a little upset with the matchup. But I mean, you really just got to go at them and do your best, and I think they will. The Vikings, I think, will respond. They have plenty of time to do that. The Huggy with the control here. Zach up to Huggy, almost a nice 2-man play, but
good demo onto from Silly Bunny onto Slurp. Right back at him. Another demo.
Yeah, going back and forth.
Oh, Huggy.
Nice. That Slurp's right there. Oh, just missed it off the corner. So unfortunate for them. Thought that was going to be in. Schnick is able to get it down. Zach with a nice touch. That was crucial. They have 3 minutes left. They still have time. Oh, Dribs.
This man
Go easy on these guys.
Fire right now. Just flicks it past one, gets the demo, and says, I got it, silly.
Savage.
He's not afraid. Dribs he's playing in his prime form. This is gonna be what we'll see. Some big goals like that coming.
So let's see what the Vikings do. Let's see if they start targeting Dribs. That might be something you see. And if that does happen, hopefully his teammates can use that attention that's taken away from them so they can get some plays of their own. But Dribs, I mean, he's just a one-man show right here. And he didn't even get a touch on that, but it didn't matter. They were just paying attention to him, and it just drops right in.
Yeah, he's just up and looking for this double touch. And
oh, he does get the little touch right there. Dribs has taken over this match, taking over the series. Let's see, what can the Vikings do, Rumble, to stop Dribs or at least slow him down?
I'd say he gets a few more pass plays going. We see him get it down half the way. And Huggy with a nice turn. Great job from Huggy. I was about to say, a little more pressure. If you see here, all 3 of the Vikings are kind of zoning Dribs away from the ball. Dribs is all the way at midfield boost, and it's Huggy, or it's Schnick and Silly Buddy sitting in net. And what happens is they end up kind of zoning Dribs from ever getting to that ball, and Huggy gets a nice scoop, drives her into the net, and now it's a 2-goal game.
And Zach, he basically took out 2 defenders, didn't get the assist, but definitely deserved one. Great job by the Vikings. Really have to take advantage of any of those opportunities. Now down just by 2 goals with 2 minutes left. Nice concerted effort there to get it down, but it's so hard. Every time it seems like they get it down into the tornado zone, they get countered and goals like that get scored.
Yeah, it's a good win by Silly, and he ends up just getting it right past Zach with the speed, and Slurp doesn't get the hit. I think he just wanted to throw himself in front of the ball, but yeah, Schnick ends up coming back and putting that in.
So this game is starting to get away from the Vikings. They still have a lot of time. They have 2 minutes left. They can get a goal pretty soon. Be pretty much anybody's game still.
Yeah, I wouldn't count them out. They're just so capable. They've had really good opportunities at scoring. They've just, the luck hasn't fallen for them. Good play out towards Slurp, who's going to beat Dribs, who has no boost here.
And Slurp hits it right to him. Unfortunately, Dribs all the way down with the clear, but Zach able to track it down. Zach's done a good job of getting back and being able to get some of those balls, but it's not going to be enough. They need 3 goals in a little more than a minute. Huggy has a chance if he can turn on this. He gets enough of it, but not able to get it down. Zach again. So, I mean, Zach is a talented player, but he seems like he's just trying to keep the ball out of his zone. They need to find ways to be able to pass each other. Like right here, nice pass to Huggy to Zach, but so far away, can't really do anything with that. But I love at least the attempt on that.
Yeah, really good pass plays coming forward, and Schnick wins another ball down the line. We got a breakaway situation here.
Yeah, let's see if Slurp can convert. Dribs just trying to get in the way. I think some of those, though, the ones where the Tornadoes get down the field and get it around the corner, probably that because the Vikings are down and they're just trying to push up maybe more than they normally would. So that's what happens when you're down by a few goals. You start pushing and then the other team just goes right past you. Dribs just hanging out. It seems like he doesn't need to do anything. He's like, I've done everything I need to do. I could probably just hang out in front of the goal. So we have the Tornadoes. They will take game 3. And this is looking like it's going to be difficult for the Vikings to deal with this. What is it that they have to do? Is it offense? Are they not getting enough passes to each other, or is it defense? Is it the clears? What are you seeing from the Vikings?
What I'm seeing from the Vikings right now is the lack of, I guess, 50-50s. You think it's really unpredictable and hard, but they're not getting the correct 50-50s. They're kind of leaving themselves open to lose the 50-50 back on their half. Also, another thing we saw was the passing. The passing needs to be, I think, their main priority. If they can control the pace and even get more demos, if they can get those passes going again. We saw a few good plays back in this game where they had really good passes and Tornadoes were just watching. They couldn't get to the ball in time because Vikings had control. But it's going to be hard to keep control when you've got Schnick, who's playing really fast, and Dribs, who seems to be really patient and also really fast. So it's a double-edged sword. It's how do you control the pace of the game when Dribs and Schnick are out there doing most of it?
Very difficult. I mean, at the end of that game with the lead, Dribs just kind of like hanging in front of his goal. But early in the game, I mean, he seemed to be all over the place. So the Vikings, I loved seeing Huggy up on the wall, taking those passes and then redirecting it back. Would like to see more of that type of thing early in the game. So hopefully we'll see that. Hopefully they'll try more of those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, they just need to keep an eye out for Dribs, and the Tornadoes are just rolling. They just need to keep doing what they're doing.
I think if the Vikings can score first, that's going to put a big response and put pressure on Tornadoes because they haven't been down before yet this series. So I think scoring first is going to be really big for the Vikings.
And we know the Vikings can do it. They pulled out the reverse sweep. Of course, that wasn't a best of 5 instead of best of 7, but they just did it in the last series. They are capable of this. Zach right here pushes up maybe a little too far for Slurp, but at least they're getting some chances here. Nice pass from Slurp, but unfortunately Huggy went all the way back. But he's able to at least get a touch on it, but it's not going to be enough. Nick up. Slurp hits it to the middle. That's a no man's land. Don't let Dribs have that. Zach is able to get the touch. Nice little pass to Slurp, but fortunately he's not able to pop it over the defense. So at least we have some life here from the Vikings. We have some chances. Looks like the defense of the Tornadoes starting to kind of tighten up a little bit there, making sure they're not going to have any goals scored. Nice demos and physical play, but double commit right there by your back. Guys, that's not a good thing. Zach fortunately gets to it. He's able to push into the corner, keep it safe. Oh my goodness, that was going to be another goal for Dribs. Vikings got to be breathing a sigh of relief. No time for that though. Huggy right down the field. Zach backs away. And that's one thing I've seen Zach. He seems to be the guy. He's so talented. Like to see him, you know, play up more, but then like who's going to be the guy to stop balls that come back? So see if he gets a chance to get on this. Has to drop back again. He's going to get a little touch right here to Slurp. Slurp has it. And there it is, the first goal to the Vikings.
Good job from Slurp. Silly Bunny ends up going for the mid boost here, and Schnick has to jump over Huggy. So Huggy does a great job of getting the ball over and forcing Schnick onto a uncomfortable situation where he has to dodge the player and he can't dodge into the ball.
Yeah, that's always the worst situation when you're at your front post and the rest of your teammates are like in front of you. Nobody behind you to defend. Drib's like, that's not a problem. I'll just take it myself. But too sharp of an angle for him. Nice touch from Slurp. Vikings on the move. I think this is going to turn into an opportunity. Huggy staying up front. Great job. Slurp, let's see if he can get it. But Huggy, he's going pretty far back. I like to see him when he stays up, but when he drops back and then he gets kind of caught.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. I think he thought Zach was going to keep coming back towards the net, and he ends up making that quick stop on the drib, which is good, but Silly Bunny's right behind him, and it's a little miscommunication from the two. I think Vikings got to keep those comms nice and sharp, and they can get another one, but if you don't have them sharp, that's let up a goal. Big flick from Dribs.
And that's pretty tough. I think I saw Zach just like stop his car after that goal. Got to be rough after you get your first lead like that and you just give it away halfway through the game, but they still have so much time left. But this it appears to be reinvigorated the Tornadoes. They are being really aggressive now, going after them. So Vikings have to be careful, but they do have an opportunity here to be able to get something because how aggressive the Tornadoes are. Zach off the wall to Huggy. Slurp hanging around, can't get the angle. Silly Bunny's down. Slurp's going to try to get that around. Silly Bunny almost squeezed it past three guys. And now the Vikings are kind of flat-footed. They better be careful of that. There's Dribs right there, but fortunately for the Vikings, rolls right up the wall. Less than 2 minutes left. The game is tied. This is match point. Tornadoes win this game. They sweep for the championship. Vikings have to get this, and they have a chance right here. Ooh. Zach almost, but Schnick stands his ground. Dribs up with the air dribble. This is dangerous. Huggy with the great play. Silly Bunny. Everybody up around the box. Able to kick it out. Oh, so close.
Yeah, Tornadoes threw everything they had at that opportunity to take the lead. All three players just went in really hard and really fast. But what I like to see is Vikings almost got a goal off of another bump demo play across the net. They got to see that again. And Tornadoes are just looking to let Dribs do his magic. And Zach with the big dunk.
Zach so fast to the ball right here. Huggy able to get it. I think Silly Bunny did not see Zach at all. Was just hoping to be able to kick that ball away. Crucial goal. The Vikings up 2-1, fighting for their lives. Let's see, the last time the Vikings scored, the Tornadoes were all over the ball. Very aggressive. Let's see, but Slurp just dunks Dribs. Gets it down the field. He's got Huggy on the other side if he can kick it all the way across. Huggy with a huge pre-jump. But that is all for naught. Zach all the way back in his zone. Dribs has that easily. 30 seconds left. Almost feels like the Tornadoes are up just playing leg defense, but they need to score. Now Dribs has a chance. Let's see if he mind gains somebody. A great pass to Silly Bunny, but it goes to the side. 20 seconds left. The Tornadoes. Oh, Huggy misses it. No.
Oh, the ball just falls out. I don't think Zach has much boost, so Schnick ends up beating him to the ball, and Huggy tries to come out of the goal, and it doesn't get the ball, and then Schnick just follows up his own touch, and 2-2. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. And Huggy, I mean, he was in the goal and came out, and the ball was like straight up. Such a difficult angle to get to. Zach able to get that away from Dribs. Vikings have to be careful here. I think they want to be very careful here not to give up the last second goal. To overtime we go. This is game 4, but this is an elimination game right here for the Vikings. Slurp went right after Dribs, but missed him.
Slurp
yeah, again.
Going for blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there we have a demo, though. But the Vikings retain control. If Zach can get this up for Huggy for at least a chance. Slurp lurking there for the shot. Comes off the side. They have to be careful. Zach back as usual, but Snick with the great dunk. Silly Bunny over top. And the Tornadoes with the sweep.
Great stuff. Schnick was a good 50 up the top, and as soon as Silly Bunny's up and no other Vikings there to contest, all he has to do is focus and put that away, and he does a great job. Congratulations to the Tornadoes. Go ahead.
Fantastic job by them. Schnick. I mean, you know, it's funny because we see Silly Bunny and we see Dribs and we're like, you know, but Schnick, great plays throughout this series that we saw. I mean, to be honest, difficult to pick an MVP. I mean, I think it would have to be Dribs with the way he played throughout that series, particularly the first 3 games. But it's just the Tornadoes, a team effort, and that's pretty much the only way that you see these sweeps happen is with a total team effort like that.
Yeah, they really came together and stuck it out. And sometimes you see when, like you were saying, the higher ranked players are in, or some players that have really progressed throughout the season. I know Dribs started at like Champ 1, Champ 2, and now look at him in GC. It's good to see him not try and carry the team. He actually relies on his teammates and looks for those passing opportunities and works with them and doesn't try to like be the big man on campus, you know. And it's really good to see that come out of him. And congratulations to the Tornadoes once again. Great series. You guys played very well.
Yeah, and congratulations to Dribs for Finals MVP.
We're gonna have a little post interview of the players on standby.
I'm seeing if they're joining. Just a moment.
Yeah, really good stuff from Tornadoes. We didn't get to see their semifinals. Oh, looks like the players are joining.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I don't know if you heard, but we picked you as MVP.
Yeah, I saw it. Like GM told me. Thank you.
Yeah, great job. When we were just talking, I'm not sure if you heard Rumble talk about it, but we were very impressed with not only your solo plays, but the way that you helped the team, you know, all the touches that you made, the passes, on defense. You're kind of everywhere. And so it wasn't really one of those, you know, hard carry, but helping your team for the team effort and the sweep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you summed it up.
Yeah, you did a really good job. And I know from previous experience of playing you and scrimming you, that might not always be the case, but it's good to see that you're growing as a player. And it just makes me so happy, Triplet.
Thanks, Rumble.
Really good stuff. Were you nervous at all coming into the matchup against the Vikings?
Yeah, bro, I was shaking. Jesus. But I think once you win a bunch of times, like it just like seems to go away, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. How was your match against the in the semis against Alpha Squadron? How was that going?
It was going pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty confident in beating them. Not to talk any poo or anything, but it was a very good series, I'd like to say.
Nice. Do you think that momentum carried over against the Vikings when you came in off a pretty big win?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good.
Hey, so Dribbler,
yeah, go for it.
Dribbler,
yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask real quick. So we don't forget them, of course. I mean, the Vikings, they had a great semifinals. I don't know if you heard, but they actually reverse swept
Yeah.
the surge, and it was fun to watch that, and the way that it ended. So they had a great playoffs, came through. I mean, what were you expecting from the Vikings, and what did you see when you were out there? How did you play them?
We played them in scrims before we played the Alpha Squadron, and so we kind of got a taste of what they were like gonna do. So we figured we'd like I don't know how to say it, like counter it, and just like they were really good at passing and really good at rotating. So we focused on our long game and tried to get long clears and like I don't know, just balling them.
Yeah, I mean that's nice that you were able to get that scrim together. I don't think you guys had played, or at least hadn't played a match in this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Yeah. So what did you think when they changed? I think they brought in Huggy for Cordell. Did it feel like they changed their play style at all? Did you do anything to change or?
Yeah, I could tell that they were a tad more consistent. Still saying I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but they were a little more consistent and in getting their clears and shooting their shots. But other than that, it was a great series.
Really was. So now what are you going to do with your trophy? Are you guys going to take turns? Someone's going to have it for a week and you guys share it? Or
I think I'm going to give it to my GM, Shamu. Also, he told me to say, rah, rah, I'm a bird.
anyways, good stuff. Once again, congratulations, Dribbler.
Thanks, Rumble.
Thanks for coming to the Discord and talking with us.
You're welcome.
I hope you have a good night.
Bye.
Congratulations, Ben.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Dribbler for that interview, and I'd like to thank the casters, Primed and Rumble tonight. Great job, guys.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. It's a great time, and look forward to seeing you guys Wednesday for hooking up again.
Yeah, we will be here Wednesday, 10 o'clock, for the Elite League playoffs. To thank everybody for watching, and good night.